Why China-Africa cooperation in investment is important?
The Chinese companies tend to work on what I call foundational projects.
China has actually been one of the most open development partners to working with African countries.
In terms of Nigeria, I would say China is involved in every area except governance.
Many scholars, experts, and diplomats are gathering here to answer that question and also to promote even deeper cooperations between China and Africa. Hello everybody, this is Jingjing here at the launching ceremony of the report on China's investment in Africa. How do people from Africa see China's involvement with them? From your perspective and from the people who actually in Africa, how do they see the cooperation?
China has actually been one of the most open development partners to working with African countries. We've seen it in very practical ways. You see Chinese factories, you see infrastructure built with Chinese technology and built by Chinese people, and Chinese finance too. These are real things that affect people's lives. It is structured, it's very predictable. There's that linkages, both the China and Africa together, working together to set the agenda. And so because of that, we can predict and we can try and scale it up even more. And that's why it's been so successful.
So do you mean it's very consistent and committed to doing this?
Yes, I think there's two things. First of all, the consistency of FOCAC, the predictability of it, means that countries know what they're looking for and know what they're trying to, and can actually plan. The second aspect of it is that this is something you realize when you start to study how China works. When China commits to something, it means that it's going to do it. Take trade commitments. In 2021, we had China commit to import $300 billion worth of products from Africa. Was it realized? Yes, it was realized. 3 years, you add up all the numbers, you get to 100 billion each year. It will be realized by the end of this year. But yes, we can even do more. But it was the first time any country, any development partner of Africa had even set an import target. So even though it was something which was achieved and achievable, it was still the first time it was done, and that achievement shows that it can be done and that even more can be done. So it sets the stage for the next stage, sets the stage for an even stronger target, for example, going forwards. So even more products from Africa coming into China. So that's the experience that we have with China. That's the experience that African governments can kind of count on.
Some experts and media have raised concerns about the ties between China and Africa. They worry whether Chinese companies have played fair. The cooperation between China and Africa and the Western country and Africa, what's the difference?
I have studies which show that once Chinese companies establish operations in Africa, they A, hire people, they employ people, local people, B, they offer training skills. 3, they allow or let or train local people to rise up to the management level at the same rate as Western companies. So when they tell you that somehow the Chinese companies are different, ask them in what way. They're not. If they're bad, they are all bad. If they're good, they are all good, because they are training the people, accelerating the progress of the people in their organizations as fast. But there's one difference. The Chinese companies tend to work on what I call foundational projects. That takes a lot of labor. Western companies are a little bit higher they come to sell things. They don't generate as many jobs. The Chinese companies, because they are working on basic foundational things, produce more impact.
Generating concrete benefits for the people. But there's one thing they don't do in Africa.
My name is Raphael Oni. I am a journalist from Nigeria. Well, like in terms of Nigeria, I would say China is involved in every area except governance. We have 53 years of solidarity that has been win-win. China is doing a lot, developing capacity for journalists, developing capacity for people. So China's involvement in my country is enormous. Hydropower, airports, name it. Like I said, apart from big governance, China is involved in virtually everything.
As one of the speakers said in his keynote speech, China has been an ally in Africa's attempts to overcome major challenges. China's own needs have led to policies and actions which often coincide with the African aspirations.